But if you can hear me right now, I'm trying to go live. Hopefully it fixed itself. It looks okay so far. Ralph is currently up 1-0, and I know that this is not the best, as I've not been able to really keep up with this game so far. So I'm going to try my best to come back and follow it. But yeah, it looks like it's okay now. I was freaking out there for a second. it kept disconnecting me, which I was really worried. Because it said that the stream file might get corrupted, and that would just be not the best. For some reason, that's not an optimal thing, is for your stream file to get corrupted. But, yeah, I should be back until, hopefully it doesn't, but until it starts messing up again. Kasali Pride Mage is going to come down. That's a really good card. Right now I could kill the Intangible Virtue, but there's no point. That's going to knock Ralph down to 11. Lingering Souls with Flashback, or just Lingering Souls, and instead of the Spirit tokens that are actually at the table, he's going to use Thopters. Kasali Primate is going to go ahead and pop the Intangible Virtue. Ooze is going to attack. Ralph is going to double block, it looks like. Nope, just a single block. Followed up with a Kitchen Finks. George is going to gain 2 up to... should be 22. I guess it's not, though. They have to have life totals correct. So I'm going to mark George at 12. Yeah, the entire first game, I didn't really get the entire game. Twitch was not working as it should have been. We're going to see a Lingering Souls flashback for Ralph into an Intangible Virtue. He does have a Windswept Heat, or a Windbrisk Kites, so right now he does have the ability to hide away that card into play. If I had to guess, it'd be another Anthem effect, like another Intangible Virtue or a Honor of the Pure or something of the like, as those Thopters are supposed to be white spirit tokens for Lingering Souls. So, for example, if you know, your stream is freaking out and you haven't been really paying attention because you haven't been able to, and then people have Thopter tokens in play instead of the Spirit tokens that are supposed to be in play, you might get a little confused too. So, those are supposed to be white Spirit tokens, as Ralph draws a Path to Exile for turn. George is still looking for a 4th land to try to cast some Collected Companies. He has one piece of the combo, along with a Spellskite to target all the removal towards. And I don't know what the actual life totals are because they're not keeping track how I was hoping. So I am incredibly sorry for the poor quality of this game, commentary-wise. Noble Hierarch comes down for George. Yeah, once again, Twitch was deciding that they did not want us to be on air tonight, and they shut us down in the middle of Game 1 pretty hard, and we were not able to do anything because of it. And Path is going to target the Scavenging Ooze, who is going to... George is going to pay 2 life to activate his Spellskite to redirect it to the Spellskite, and Ralph is going to go to 10. And I have no idea what George is at because he has definitely gained some life from that Kitchen Fink since he was last marked on that total. Zealous Persecution is either going to pump his team or -1/-1 George's team. And if that is a +1/+1 counter on the Kitchen Finks, it's not going to be -1. So it is going to kill all of George's creatures. Yep, and that's not going to be good for George. That's not exactly what he wants to see in the slightest. Not going to be a Spectral Procession. It costs white, but instead of each white, you could pay 2 colorless mana instead. So it could cost, like, for example, 2 of any color, white, white, or it could cost 4 of any color, white, or it could cost 6 of any color, or triple white, etc., any combination. It is an awesome card. It puts 3 1/1 spirits into play. So once again, all the Thopters in this game are supposed to be spirit tokens. There are spirit tokens at that table. They're just not using them. And I would think that that is a Liliana Heretical Healer, but I'm not entirely sure until he puts the card in play. Yeah, it's a Liliana Heretical Healer. So he has a Kasali Pride Mage to immediately flip the Liliana and kill the Intangible Virtue if he so wishes. But excuse me. With the Wimbrous Kites being active this turn and the possibility to also play an Honor the Pure on top of that, which I think we're going to see, this should just be lethal. So, it's a Rest in Peace. Oh, man. Well, that's also quite good against the Absian Collected Company deck. It makes it to where Liliana doesn't matter, and George is going to go down to 4 life from the attack, I guess, or 9, or some kind of life total because they don't update their life totals. I have no idea what he's actually at. And, let's see, George play an Orzhov Pontiff. When that dies, it gives creatures either +1/+1. I want to say you can give creatures you control +1/+1, or creatures your opponent controls -1/-1. So he's going to sack. No, I don't think it triggers. Go get them. Tell them to pause. We tell them to pause next door. So I don't know exactly how Rest in Peace works, but I thought the creature had to die, as in go to the graveyard for it to trigger. With Rest in Peace in play, I don't think they actually can, so I'll be right back. Alright. I got that taken care of. I was correct. Sorry about that. It was completely unintentional. They just were both unsure as to what actually happens. I actually don't see us currently on Twitch, so I'm not sure if I'm streaming. I'm unable to find the chat, so if you're saying things in the chat, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. It's just that I don't see us currently on Twitch, so I'm not able to find us or find the chat for us. As Rest in Peace puts a wrench in George's plans, he gets rid of the Intangible Virtue instead of the Rest in Peace. He's going to draw a card. Looks like a Revelark. That's not really what you want to see with a Rest in Peace. Alright, we're back. Alright, yeah. Sorry, so sorry about that. That was completely unintentional, and still a little flustered that it happened. But the first game, Ralph won, who is at the top of your screen playing black-white tokens. And at the bottom of your screen, we have Abzan Coco from George Morgan. As right now, he's trying to assemble the combo, but he can't really combo off with a Rest in Peace in play. Swing with Liliana. She does have lifelink, so I think it's okay to attack with her. It's going to knock Ralph down to 6. And apparently George is all the way at 18. So, goes to show what happens when you don't pay attention. You have no idea what actually goes on. Wow, a Johnny Goldman. That's going to minus for certain. And pump all of that team. Yep. Johnny Goldman. For those of you who do not know, it's 2 white, and he can -1 to Gavaney Township your team and give them vigilance. So he's just going to attack with all of them. They're just 2/2s. George might take it down to 12. He's thinking to himself, no big deal. It's just 12, just a solid 6 damage. Unless I'm missing something. 18 -6 is indeed 12, not 14. So I'm going to keep it on my screen as what he should have taken, unless he put that token into play this turn, which looks like he just played a Johnny. I can't imagine how that token came into play otherwise. So yeah, George should be at 12. He's currently at 14, but he should be at 12. And George is going to attack team, as I think that's pretty much all he can do here. He does have a Gavaney Township, so this could just get way out of hand really fast. This one might go to a game 3. George might actually have it with the... It depends on if Ralph doesn't block. If Ralph leaves 2 of George's creatures unblocked, he has lethal with the Township. Assuming that is a +1 counter on the Orzhov Pontiff and not a -1 counter. Township's going to activate. Alright, trades are going to be happening. And right now I think Ralph is looking for a Lingering Souls with Flashback. That is his dream card, I think. Unless he plays Wrath. Wrath would also be a very good card. George is going to pass, and Ralph is going to look at what will probably be his last card of the game. And he's going to scoop him up. We're going to go to game 3. We'll see if life totals can be kept a little bit better that game, or this upcoming game. We're currently streaming Modern. We're doing Standard, Modern, back and forth until we all get sick. So they're going to go to their sideboard. I'm not sure what that is. Memory lapse or something? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Ralph does. But Ralph's at the top of your screen playing black-white tokens complete with Bitter Blossoms. And at the bottom of your screen is George Morgan playing the Absian Collected Company deck. For those of you unfamiliar with it, what it does is it plays a sack outlet, Viscera Seer, Cartel Aristocrat, a life gainer damage dealer with Kitchen Finks that has Persist or Undying with Kitchen Finks or Murderous Redcap. And then it plays Malira, Sylvok Outcast, which says creatures can't get -1/-1 counters, or it plays, or, depends on which one you have in play actually, it plays both, or it plays Anafenza First of the Kintree, or Kintree Foremost. It's the new Anafenza, the white 2/2. So it'll bolster 1 whenever a creature comes into play. Kitchen Finks will always have 1 toughness, which will be your lowest toughness. So Kitchen Finks will immediately get a +1/+1 counter. Or it won't get a +1/+1 counter. It'll get a +1/+1 counter from bolster when you put the bolster trigger onto it. That's what I should say. Sorry for all the silence tonight, as I'm trying to get Twitch to work how it should. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a snafu at the beginning of this round. Yeah, about 30 minutes ago or so, Twitch just decided that they did not want us to show an entire game of this tournament, pretty much. Every 5 or 6 seconds, it would say I'm live, and then it would immediately disconnect me and reconnect and disconnect and reconnect.